Hey everybody, I'm Nate Price. Today I wanted to talk about the new Apex axle truss that we have. Now this is a patented design that is designed to give you ultimate strength on your axle. Now recently Jeep has changed their casting on this differential, and I wanted to make you aware of those differences because they affect the contour cutout here on the axle trusses themselves. So let's review what those changes are to the differential itself. On the sides of the differential, you now have two large fins right here on the top and bottom of the sides of the differential. The previous models only had one fin on each side. That's a really key differentiator between the axles. Another one is that on the back side of this casting right here, it has a 0.5 in the casting. So if you've got that 0.5 on there or these double fins, this is gonna be the new model that you're gonna want. And generally, they rolled out these axles kind of in different vehicles, so I can't really say that it's exactly this year in this model. So just be aware that those changes do exist, and you need to check the axle when you're going to buy your truss. Now let's talk a little bit about the truss itself. The Apex axle truss is a patented design. It features this design here where it actually has an apex here at the top, which gives it a lot of structural rigidity. It's also one piece as well too. You don't have to jigsaw puzzle a bunch of pieces together to put it all together. It also has dimpled eyes throughout it as well too, which give it even more structural rigidity. And because it's this one piece and it's contoured really nicely, it drops on the axle really easily. Another key feature of this is that it goes end to end. And what I mean by that is underneath the coil buckets here is an additional truss piece. And that means that you don't have any weak spots if you have the inner Cs and the truss. The whole axle is reinforced end to end, providing no places for it to break. That's really important because these axles do have a considerable amount of weak spots. A lot of the times they tend to break right here where the tube enters the casting, and right here where the tube enters the casting. But if you reinforce these and don't do it underneath the coil bucket, you're making a place where it can definitely fail. So underneath the coil buckets is really important. Now, we have made a change recently to the inner C gussets. When we're talking with Dana Corporation, they suggested that we do less welding on the inner Cs because too much welding on them can affect the structural rigidity of these forged inner Cs. So we redesigned these to have more of a bolt-in feature where you use existing holes on the inner Cs to bolt in, and then you get a lot less welding where you just weld here at the top and at the very bottom. That means that there's a lot less heat developed. That means that it keeps the structure of the forging in place and you're not really affecting it greatly. So thanks for joining us on a tour of this new Apex axle truss and inner C gussets for the Jeep JL and JT. Go to artecindustries.com to buy them now.